Hi, Miriam Boccaccio here. Back to making some videos. It was summertime. I figured everybody was enjoying the sun and going to the beach and all. So I figured I'd wait till after. Today is fall. What do you think of? Pot roast, stew, coq au vin, things like that. So I decided on a pot roast. I got my two friends, Lori and Jennifer, coming over tonight for dinner. Normally for 4 people, you might get like a 3 to 4 pound roast, but this is 5 pounds because I know that my friends and us eat, okay? So this is chuck. You can use chuck, brisket, top round, bottom round, whatever you want. Now I got my pan starting to heat up. I got it on a little bit low because I don't want it all smoking, doing all that. So I'm gonna salt and pepper it nice. You really want to salt it good. I told you before, beef needs salt. I'm gonna put some pepper on it. Okay, then we're gonna coat it with flour. This is, you can use regular flour, but like I said before, I like Wondra. Okay. Put salt all over real nice. And you want to brown this because when you brown it, like I said before, flavor. You're going to get flavor out of this. You can do this on a Sunday. You're home all day, you know, want to hang around the house, be lazy. Most of the time's in the prep. So I got that on. I'm going to put it up higher now. And I'm going to use just vegetable oil to sear it. We're going to sear it all over. So not too much oil. I think I probably have about, maybe a tablespoon or so in there. 2 tablespoons, maybe. Okay, so we got that ready. It doesn't matter which side you put down. Okay. Now, this pot's going to look like it's too small, but it's not. If I were going to do it with potatoes in there, it would be too small, even though the meat's going to shrink up a little bit. But I decided tonight I want mashed potatoes. So this pot only has to hold this beef, the braising liquid, and my carrots, onion, and celery. So we're gonna brown this real nice, and after we brown it, we're gonna come back and show you the next step. So we're gonna turn this, not easy, good piece of meat. You could just look at this meat and see how tough it is. You know, this part, you know, I'm not an expert on meat, but I know this comes from like the shoulder. So think of that, more movement, the tougher the meat is. So that's why you have to cook it for a long time. You can put this, you can cook it on the stove. I'm going to cook it in the oven. So I'm going to put it like 325. Cook it in the oven. But you can do it on the stove top. I just want my stove clear is why I'm going to throw it in the oven. So we're going to let the other side brown. That took about maybe 8 minutes, 10 minutes. We're going to let the other side brown and we're going to come back and get it started to put it in the oven. I seared the top, I seared the bottom, and so far I've seared one side. So we're going to take it, flip it over. Look, you want to get it all the way around. You're sealing in now all the juices and you are flavoring. You want to make that flavor, okay? So we're going to finish that side, then we're going to take it out. We're going to start our onion and our celery. We're going to get our braising liquid ready. So I'm going to say maybe about 15, 18 minutes to brown it around. But look how beautiful. It's all nice and brown. You have to be patient. You just have to be patient. I run out of patience a lot of times, so, and I do it the wrong way. But I try to teach you the right way. Okay, so this is going to be good. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to keep that same oil in there. It's only, right now, there's nothing but maybe a tablespoon left in there. I have about a medium onion and 2 celery stalks. You want to cut them big, because the reason why you cut them big is because this piece of meat's going to cook for about 4 hours. So if you cut them small, you ain't gonna have anything in the pan. They're gonna disappear pretty much as it is. And I have my carrots ready. I got 7 carrots. And I cut them nice and chunky because you want them to be chunky. So this you're gonna cook, you know, like a little bit low because you're just sweating them. You wanna get the flavor released from them. You want a nice heavy pan like this. And I gotta tell you, you can get these packs $39 or $49 at Sam's Club, believe me when I tell you. And they are really comparable to the $700 one, which I can never say the name, La Creuset or whatever. I have a real one down the basement. La Creuset. My father gave me a real one. It's beautiful. It's orange. So what we're going to do, so we're starting to get them just a little bit of color. What we're going to do is put the carrots in after about 2.5 hours of the cooking. We don't want them to melt down. We want them to sweetness. We want them in there. Okay, so you can see they're nice. So put a little bit of salt and pepper in that. It's always good to layer. So what we're going to do, I know I have a habit of saying and so. Bear with me, I can't help myself. I'm going to deglaze this pan now. So what we want to do, this is just a red wine. It's a mix. It's decent though. I drink it actually. I'm going to lower my gas because I'm always afraid of a flare up. And I'm going to put this in. Maybe about 3/4 of a cup. We're going to move that around. And you want to deglaze it after you put this in, because how are you going to saute that? No, I've made that mistake plenty of times. I put the wine in and then how do I saute it? Now it's wet. Now I'm just steaming it or boiling it. So this is what you want to do. And you can see the scrapings are off the bottom. Come and look at this. Good. Smells good. So. Okay. So this is just a enameled cast iron pan. Might not be the best, but it does the job. So when you're braising anything, I had told you before when we braise something that you want to keep the liquid halfway up on the meat. And you need a tight fitting lid. The lid must fit tight. I have like some pots where the lid don't fit good, so I'll put a piece of foil over it first, then put the lid on it, because that'll give you more of a seal. And if you don't, then you're just going to steam everything. You're not going to braise it. You want it to be the right way. So what we're doing, we're going to cook this for maybe about 2 minutes, because we don't want the alcohol taste or the alcohol. And if you don't want wine, you can use a little bit of balsamic vinegar or red wine vinegar. But I wanted the wine. So we're going to put this back in so we know. Already you can see it got a little smaller. And we want all these juices. You don't leave the juices behind. Never leave them behind. What we're going to do now is we're going to put our, this is beef broth that I bought. It's unsalted. You always want to cook with unsalted products because you want to control the salt. This is a cup measure, so let's see how much we're going to need in here. That's 3/4. I'm going to pour that in. It's 3/4, let's say. You can use stock if you make it yourself or broth that you make. Just watch the salt because you want to control the salt, like I said. See, that's about halfway up. I'm going to put another little bit. So that's about 2 cups total. And then you want to check it maybe every half hour, every 45 minutes. Make sure that it's going at the right temperature. And we're going to bring this up. I always like to bring it to a boil first. But what I'm going to do is add a little bit of tomato paste, just for a little more richness. So I'm going to put maybe a tablespoon. It'll just give it a little extra flavor. Nothing wrong with a little extra flavor. So now, I'm going to put some herbs in here. And so proud of myself that I dried all the herbs from my yard. I think we have We have oregano. What do you want, Maria? Oregano, tarragon. We got basil. Oh no, I used the basil last night. Let's use rosemary. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at this beautiful rosemary that I dried. Okay, look at that. You still want to crumble it up though, because you don't want people to get big pieces of that. I think that's going to be good in it. I'm going to put some parsley too. And if you want to dry out your herbs, I put them in the oven at like 170. It was the lowest temperature I had on my oven. Just on a sheet pan with some parsley too. On a sheet pan, and I think they took about a half hour. Maybe less, some of them. Okay, so it came to a boil. Now we lower it. I'm turning the gas off here. I'm gonna put my lid on, and you can see that. Look, it's a nice tight fit. Okay, we're gonna put it in the oven. I got my oven at 325, and I'm gonna check it in about 45 minutes just to make sure it's still looking good. You don't have to check it that early right in the beginning, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm crazy. So I'm gonna put it in the oven, and we're gonna come back. We'll come back probably in about maybe 2.5 hours when it's time to add those carrots. And we're gonna make mashed potatoes today. This is very heavy, be careful. I wanted to show you, it's been 2.5 hours and already it's so beautiful. Look at the sauce. I did take it out in like, after like about an hour and a half, and it needed a little bit more of the beef broth. So I put in, you know, just enough to bring it to that halfway mark, maybe a half a cup or whatever. So just look at the meat. You could just see how tender it is and see how it shrunk, but not that much. Didn't shrink that much because we're cooking it on a low temperature, but it did shrink. But look how beautiful that sauce is. I added some salt and pepper to it. Now I'm gonna add our carrots. I'm gonna let it cook probably for about another hour, because I want that to just really like be so tender. Oh, so good. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt for my carrots. Check. I'm gonna put it back in here. I can't even pick the pot up. Maria had to pick it out of the oven for me, but my shoulder's been bothering me. But I just wanted to show you what it looked like at this point after 2.5 hours at 325. So we're gonna put it back in. My potatoes are peeled and ready for me to mash them. Got my salad ready. Gonna be a good dinner tonight for fall, so we'll be back. Took the pot roast out of the oven just now. We're gonna take a look at it. I got everything going on here. I got my broccoli with my mushrooms for the side. I'm gonna put my water on, make my mashed potatoes. But let's do this one. Let's see what it came out like. Voila. Is that beautiful? Look at that. Just look at that. Look, just look. Look. You know you could just break it apart. But I want it to look nicer for my company, so I'm going to slice it down. But those carrots, well, they are. So I'm going to get the potatoes mashing. Well, they got to cook first. They take about 15 minutes. And you can see this on the sides, look. It looks like it's burned. Oh my God, it's going to be so hard to clean. Look at that. Just look. That's not going to be hard to clean. That's going to wipe right off. Don't let these little things stop you from cooking. Thinking it's going to be a mess. It's not. It's going to be so good. And I'm not sure. Normally you'd have a little bit of a leftover, but I'm telling you, me and my friends, we can eat. So we'll be back in a little bit. Here's the finished product. And it's really tender because it cooked 3.5 hours. Cook it for 2.5 if you want to slice it better. Me, I want it like this. You're just going to pick it up. You can make roast beef sandwiches out of this. This is how tender this is. Pull it apart a little bit, put it on a sandwich, a little bit of provolone cheese. It's like Nick's roast beef going on here. So I have the sauce on the table, got the mashed potatoes. I got Lori and Jennifer peeking in, and there, do you see them? We're doing social distancing dinner tonight, okay? So this is the finished product. I hope you liked the video. If you do, please share it. If you make it, send me photos. Everybody stay safe and cheers.